Right, maybe go do my dysfunctional CIA family part 10. Probably be right, like yeah. So yeah, 3.5. What was I? 3.5 years old, 5.5, or maybe no less. God, probably less than 3. No, God, I probably lived there when my brother was born when I was 3. Or I moved around a little bit. Still the same house. Or maybe not. But like at least 3.5 to 5.5. And next door, like that was some kind of thing. I call it MI6, but the FBI used to park in front of our house and do all this stuff. And I think that was kind of a thing. I kind of get the feeling because I had my best friend next door. And it was too good. We're 2 good friends. And then it reminds me of stuff. Maybe not. And then one time, okay, so we're running around the basement. And we're running around the basement. We're taking our clothes off, we're just running around. And his mom came downstairs or something and complained. And it was weird, like we just put our thing back on or something. We're just running around, like it was just real quick. And then she was like, kind of weird. And I've always held that, like, because it's not like, oh God, that's bad. But it's just, I've always compartmentalized or tucked that away. Like, it's like she knows we're, it's like we're, what do you call, monitored, She knows it's surveillance and it's a thing. She just had this thing. And I fucking know now. I know it's gotta be. Isn't that funny? And my parents never really hung out with them. They never went back and forth at all. It's weird. My parents were kind of giving them cold shoulder or something. Or some kind of weird thing. Man, we still had milkmen. Some people get milk delivered. Or was it everyone? The milk things are there. A couple of people. No, it was a few people. But the milk things were on the front porch. And there'd still be a milkman that would deliver. Other people go to the grocery store. It's a crazy time. Way the hell back in the 60s. Mid-60s, like 65 and shit. 65, 6, 7, 6 and 7 and shit. Because I was there when that stuff happened with Bobby Kennedy. That's when I guess not an early memory, but maybe it's like, was there or not? No, I'm thinking the stuff with them. I'm talking about it's like 67, 68, 69. Yeah, we still had some milk delivery. Yeah, so that's why I'm already getting impressions. And so I'm already getting impressions. And then this one girl, she's a teenager. There's a dog bowl. Like this is like a few houses down the street and across. You go, and it's down, like it's a hill. And you guys probably know that. And there's a dog that would be in the backyard. I guess he'd be chained up or something like it. And there's this dog dish. And this teenage girl was filling the dog bowl, but she'd rinse it. Like she filled it and threw the water out and filled it, threw the water out a couple times. It's like I gotta say it like James Joyce. Like it's like a James Joyce memory, and you gotta say it that way. But it made a real impression on me. It was like wasting is weird, but she's like rinsing it. But it's also that memory saved because I'm supposed to have that impression of everything saved. And it crosses over to my the chairman of sociology department, that family. Like when I came up to Carbondale 8 years later, and that. It's kind of like down in the backyard. And yeah, there's always something going on, man. Damn, I learned my training wheels. We took them off my bike, and I just walked the bike around. I got it so I could ride, maybe in that backyard or something. Like, it had a slight hill. And I got the first time I ever got it to work. Before that, I just dragged the bike around for for a week or two or something, or a little bit. And yeah, 'cause I know something. Damn, man. Yeah. I had this whole list I was supposed to fucking make because I have all this shit to say. I was gonna make it like at least a one-word thing that I could remember what the fuck it was, because I knew I have all this new stuff. But now I don't remember. Even though maybe we should make it in 2 videos. The owls are out there somewhere too. They can fly all the way quiet when they fly regular, like slow. It's like a cotton ball going through the air. You can't hear them. They can hover too. They can be hovering right near you. You can't hear them. But they do it just to they can be real quiet. Man, I was gonna remember all this stuff too. It's funny, they put a video on YouTube about the Women's Center in Carbondale. And sort of maybe I recognized one of the women. And it's probably all this fake out stuff and not the original video, they mess with it. So my mom used to be there, used to work there. And they said it's like a big deal. It was like the only battered women's shelter that's like not in a big city. And it was like a women's center, and they said it was the first one for a lot of the stuff where you just go and live. And they used to not, like once you're, a boy, if he's 12 years old or over, he can't go there. So I think they were always doing that. I think it was a troll thing too. And it's already a weird angle. And that's probably pressed by MI6. It's probably like some, because that's some hokey stuff, and that's kind of weird. So I think it's already some kind of thing. There's some kind of pressing. And they sold out my mom. My mom was the one, or our family, my mom was the one who ran the abortion mafia for the last 2 years before Roe v. Wade, when it was against the law. And went in, took the hit for it. She went in the newspaper, did a newspaper article where it's her saying it with us, my picture, my brother and me. It's like right the fuck in there. And damn, man. Yeah, they're all fake, man. Like the mayor went to Austin after this. When did he go to Austin? When Mayor Eckert, he skips out and goes back to Austin, or goes there. But maybe he wasn't from there. He wasn't from there, actually, I think. By like 70, what was it? 76, 77? Because Austin's where it came from. Austin, they were starting that stuff from, like by 1960 or whatever. They're running from Austin to infiltrate everything and to work the university. I have this theory that Austin is the original, like, Midwestern or Southern college university that they work. And they're all liberal, and they have this whole thing. And that's why you have Ron Paul, like all this stuff. Ron Paul's on in Texas, and then how the hell does he, right? No leftist thing. It's all by the book, strict fundamentalist libertarianism, right? With like kind of a little bit of a, not Sean Birch, that's not correct. Like just libertarian as though I don't know, World War II didn't happen or something. And it's like that. Then his son can be reasonable senator go off and grow up and just be Mr. Reasonable. He's like got a lane to be in, right? And they let him be in that lane. And it's fake, man. Like, it's like Ron Paul, and he's all those years, he's representative, so you don't have to worry about the filibuster, so you can all the way be hardcore. And so they just had him, because they can't really have the leftists there. So they got that. And you probably don't even have to be corrupt or anything. They'll like run you, and it's a certain thing. Like they try to run me and shit. Or they do run me. So that's what that is. So that's all them, or they're allowing it. Then you have Rand Paul, whatever the hell happened to him with the fucking bailout, and if he didn't filibuster. It shouldn't be the right term because it's not debated. They won't debate. And they do that. But like, so that's that. I had all this shit I was gonna fucking say too. I didn't write it down. Like little things where I had to remember. It's like, oh yeah, something. So you just, oh yeah. Oh man. Okay, so this will just go, this will be, yeah. Okay, yeah, so I got the thing, like the Holy Grail of like, you do your like, the classic, like, Illuminati theory and all that, or anything like that. And it's like, no, it's like, it's the King of England and blah, blah, blah. That's always that. It's not Jews, it's the King of England. And it's not just Rothschilds where they work for it. And it's, like, the thing is, it's not the King of England, it's Privy Conspiracy. That's even in their damn national anthem. Save us from Privy Conspiracy. The fucking Butler did it. And that means, like, it's King Charles, or it could be, like, the original King Charles, or it could be the fucking Cromwell, the redcoats, and, like, or just Winston Churchill, all the, aristocracy guys that are kind of like redcoats. It's conspiracy and secret shit, and it's what they do to other countries, so it kind of gets blowback. They have their empire, they can rule India, and so you get blowback, and you have the Butler, and they just work that stuff, man. Like, and so, okay, so like, one of the kids, he was actually our best friend, he's like a brother, the only kid that would be like a brother. Like, he's at our house all the time, and my brother would go up to his house. He was my brother's age. So he's from the Belmonts, like, and then also from the Saltonstalls. Well, Aggie Belmont, like his grandfather, is married the Saltonstall lady, and then he divorced her. He's such a pig too. He's a dumbass, man. And he inherited nothing from him. My friend, he got nothing, zero. Like, there's some teenage girl that would live up there. I go visit him a couple times. Lonely old man, and he had his dogs, these super dogs, and he'd have them swimming in the water, and they have to go get a duck and swim up, like try to tread water and jump up and get a duck. Everything is like muscle dogs and super horses like that. Oh, maybe I'll put this. Maybe I'll put the thumbnail. It's a Belmont. Be like the Happy Days, like when Secretariat won the race at Belmont, and everyone's just like all happy, and the Days of Innocence. And it also goes from Days of Innocence because original August Belmont, they said the lady that wrote the Days of Innocence based a bad character on him. It was a bad Jewish guy too. It's like anti-Semitic because the Belmonts are Jewish, like going way back. They always say German. And the guy wasn't really that bad. The original August Belmont, like, he was like, in the Civil War he did good. So he's the head of the DNC, Democrat National Convention. He's the head of that thing from 1860 when the war started, Civil War, up to like what, 1870 something. And he's a Rothschild man. He's a guy. He's actually related to the Rothschilds. So he has Rothschilds too, and and working their money stuff and doing really good stuff and help finance Civil War probably. So a lot of good stuff. And so I got to fucking live that family, that kid. You know, I talk about like how MI6 just fucking put me down, destroyed me, like fucking, they did it to them, like the same. Like, I don't say worse, it's the worse, like, all right, it's all the way. They put their, it's like fucked up. And that's the Rothschilds too. They put them, they destroyed the Rothschild thing. Like, it's all a fucking lie, man. Just like they're doing to Israel now. Making everything a mess. Everything's going to be some weird empire thing. You have to have a bunker. You don't get to get live in your little shtetl, your like thing with your, oh God, you can't even fucking imagine if I had this she'd be sitting over across the things, I don't know, in her bathrobe. I don't know, you see that shit in Cambodia. I have to go to Cambodia to be a hippie or whatever a while ago. It's all like fucking, but yeah, so they okay, so my friend and we're not related to Salt and Stalls, but like by the opposite way, like we sued them and stuff, or we like went to court. Like, he was one of the judges, and we lost a case, but that's the only case we lost, I think. But it was a setup, it was fake bullshit. And Salt and Stall did he was there for the first two trials, in the witch trial. Then he skipped out, and then they went and they did one of our relatives, but she was the second marriage. Our original great grandfather, he was like Adam Hawks. He was like, I don't know, 60 years old, so he married a girl like when she's like, 18, 20. She's really beautiful. It's in all the records. Like, she's the hottest chick in the fucking town, in the fucking place. They say that, it's documented. And so he's with her like 4 years, and they had one kid, a daughter. So her name was Sarah, so they named the daughter Sarah. So Sarah Hawks. And then she got remarried to that blacksmith guy. And he was one of the early guys that got pulled in. Because he used to do tarot cards and stuff in, 20 years earlier. And he had married her, after my grandfather passed away. She got 10% of the estate, so she was rich. And he set up a super blacksmith shop. And so everyone's jealous. Actually, I was going to say, the one thing you can't blame MI6 is Salem witch trials. And nope. And I was thought about it. It was like, oh shit, no, all the way. But that's a whole different thing. It's funny as you saw me when I'm under stress, that's where I go and shit. I went up there. I went to Salem Village. But no, they did that shit, I bet. I bet you could fucking... That is, man. Okay, God, they did, man. They fucked... Yeah. And there's gotta be so much real estate stuff they did. But anyway, that's our connection to the Salt and Salt. Like, I get kind of stuck up on Superior, because the Salt and Salt's all this trash down in Boston. It's kind of like, it gets trashy. And my grandfather founded Boston, or great Adam Hawks, but he didn't go across water. He stayed in Charlestown, the old camp. And then he kind of split off from Boston. And he would be up there, like in the Salem kind of influence, which is better. They had a guy, oh God, they had one of those, oh man, Cotton Mather, his grandfather came, or dad, like, he came into Salem. They wouldn't even let him preach at the church. He has to be in the doghouse. Like, he's like, no, you can't. Those guys, the Salem guys. That might have been when maybe it was the Rhode Island guy who was still doing it up there. The guy who founded Rhode Island or something. Was up there, and he said, okay, but damn, man, it's all bullshit. They did all the genocide. They did everything, man, of the Indians, the British, because everyone else is out in the woods. They know everyone, and you got like all the Bible believing Indians, all the fucking stuff. And everyone got wiped out. The only place that has his original name is Natick, as the Indian, Christian Indian name. I mean, that was named by them. Everything else gets ripped, killed, put on the boat, and to the death camp out in the harbor. And that's the British because they can control it centrally from Boston. And they, because you could just be out there and once fucking everyone, you don't have this shit. Or like it's your strength. They want to centrally control it and just wipe everyone out. That's why it's shit. Okay, so, yeah, so my friend, he's like, oh yeah, okay, so he comes, it's gotta be his salt and stall, or something. He's like, you can tell, he's got the thing, he's got some kind of thing, like he was in, like King Arthur's court, like he'd be one of those guys, or one of the original guys, like he could, like he told me he was a bow and arrow champion for Illinois. I don't think he lied. I think a little bit later he'd like trained to do that, and he got the best. He said, God, he'd take a BB gun, and I said, you go shoot at that bird. He's like, doesn't want to, because he's like, everything dies. Like, and I'm used to just shooting and nothing happens. And the sights were broken. It didn't have his sights on it either. And it's like horrible. I said, shouldn't have said that though. I thought I was just gonna like go some other way or something. It's like fucking far away too. But damn man. And he had this weird thing where he can do that stuff, but like these klutz, like not real apparently klutzy, but sometimes like he'll get in a little accident, go scrape against something or fall and hurt himself. And it'll be like a story you have, like, oh, you're all out there, like once a year or something. Like he had a certain klutziness that other kids wouldn't happen to, but then he could do the other stuff, precision stuff. So, but yeah, the Belmonts, so that's and that's by his dad too. So his dad divorced when he's 2. He just walked out. He remembers the fight too. He just walked out, and then he lived he lived in Belmont. The dad, he lived in Belmont town up in Massachusetts on Belmont Street. His name is Belmont, the dad. And dad was like at immaturity probably. And my friend never saw him. He was like only, once a year or something, like have some little visit. And God, did he take him to Africa once? Maybe. Something with wild dogs. Or he just talks about it with his dad. But Google, just one thing, the directions, I think I never had an Apple phone, so it'd be Google Maps directed me. I needed to get out of town the way up. It had me drive all through Belmont. And it had a period where it was doing that. It had me go all through there, because I think it wanted me to see that, or whatever the fuck it was. I always thought that was kind of a weird thing. It put me all through that thing, and that was like way an outlier of like its weirdness. It had to have me go all through it, so I got to see, because you never know. You don't drive through Belmont otherwise, because it's like locks and dams or something. It's like this hilly thing from the old water power thing, and you have like gates they can shut in case there's a flood, even in modern days, or some weird shit. It's fucking incredible. Actually going through the town. And there's also the good highways go right by it too, so you just don't ever go through it. So you have to be like forced to go through it, which I did. Like Google Maps did that to me once. I was gonna go out to maybe Walden Pond out the other way, up the wrong, and didn't have to go around. I was trying to get to the highways. Okay, so yeah, so his dad went there, and I know that's the fucking thing. And now it's nothing. And he never does. Like, I think he still may stay in the town or something. It's like he's a redneck or something. And so they put him out there. I'm sure the family goes out there like, oh man, go live out in Southern Illinois in Carbondale. What could go wrong, And I used to think the Belmont racetrack maybe was near there. But that's up in New York State. So it's Kentucky Derby. And so these guys would all connect because of that. But like, they're probably thinking, horse race and all this stuff. It's kind of, I don't know, Midwestern college. Actually is a thing, because it is the fucking MI6 was running some shit. So if you're a fucking spy, it'd be the place. And you got the fucking train that goes right, you can get on train, a sleeper car to Chicago or down to New Orleans. The train city of New Orleans. Yeah, so he was, and okay, so he was, now that's where I get this from. Like, he's my, his certain kind of thinking is my role model for any ability to do any kind of analysis. That idea that there's something going on, or you're getting ripped, and there's some real something going on. It was like, that was always from him. He's like really smart. He fucking knew it. And a certain, God, you have a certain kind of sarcasm. We knew there was something going on. And I get that from him. And my ability to think about it and stop and think. And it's fucking true. So he got fucked over. All his family sisters got fucked over. Like, I don't need to get into it, but they're on the track. They'll be like crap. And that's like the Uber. That is the Rothschilds. Okay, that's their guys. They love them. They would always, like the original guy, he's the bag man, doing all this stuff, doing all kinds of banking and all this shit. Back in the Civil War time and after. And they're always doing their fortunes. And then that one, like the August Belmont Jr. later in the industrial times. And getting the Belmont racetrack, all the stuff, naming after his, because the dad used to like that stuff. So that's that, and then still the MI6 fucked them over bad, all the way. They're always watching him. Like, fucking know it, man. So his mom was from some wealthy family too, probably New York or something. I don't know. She was cool. Oh man, that this is one thing. How she'd eat dog food, like dry dog food. So she'd get a bag of dry food. I'd be like, man, what is that? Oh my god! And so she gets a bag of dry dog food. She'd eat it, a piece, and that would eat my And then the kids would eat it. My friend would eat it, and it's like it's cool because it's probably really good. And I guess you have to worry. Like, it's some stubborn ass thing she did when she was a teenager. She loves dogs, and she's a badass. She's like some super hippie thing, and it's like it's eccentric thing. Like everyone else, you're just trash. Like and we're just like, you know how it is, right? And this is the only thing she did too, that you could tell. Otherwise, then she would be like kind of like, you got to do things a certain way, dress a certain way, be a certain way. But she had that one thing that was kind of badass. And it was cool, and it's like totally normal, and you could see. Because it's like one of those like biscuit crackers or something. Like, it's probably really good dry dog food too. They wouldn't eat like a lot. It'd be like one thing or something. Or a little bit. Not actually. 4. What is that? That was so fucking cool too. I always knew that they were high class like that. But now I can see how they're Jewish too. Like that certain thing with my friend and his sister. Like, God, man, I wish I fucking knew shit. Yeah, and they were fucking with them. They were fucking with them. I don't even want to say shit. They fucked them over. They got fucking stocked down and fucked with. And all this shit worked and the buttons pushed. And so we used to go to the Sluky basketball. Always, like, my friend's mom had the season tickets, 2 sets, so my mom would go with her, and then my mom ended up getting season ticket. So my mom went through a little bit of phase where, like, she ignores the kids or something. I don't know. I'm a teenager. I'm a reject. I have to go live with my dad. I think that was in. Maybe. And then she'd be like having a look at the basketball or something. They'd be up at one of the behind one of the basketball hoops. I guess that means that they're not like super rich. That's a good place. That's the best place. You could see them battling it out, at one of the basketball hoops, right? And you're kind of behind it. So half the time they're battling it out there, right? it's probably maybe better than just the side. And we used to just, God, I'd never watch those games. We'd just go in there and have a super bleacher seat and just run around and never watch the game. Me and my brother and my friend. Like, oh God, Ed, listen, dun dun dun, SIU, dun 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 dun, dun SIU. Oh my God, that's annoying. And because Larry Bird was there. That's when Larry Bird. And I say Larry Bird, and people like, oh yeah, see Larry Bird, and I was like, never watch it. And oh man, like it was Larry Bird, and a couple other guys like that aren't as famous, I guess. Damn, man. And Stephen Bardot, like we knew him. Like he ended up being a basketball player, I heard. And he went off and did something. He used to be famous, like a little bit for a while. He was like, so, and that's funny because he was like, God, I'd be around my other friends. I have to go back. There's a shortcut you could go through. Like that's not actually road. It's like where lots connect, but it was really cool. And it would always be open. And a path and the bicycles would go through. And he was near there, and he had his little basketball hoop in the yard, but just not really playing it. And he seemed to have a good life, and he's always busy. So it's like, and we would just be there. Oh yeah, because there was a big old ramp, and you ride your bikes and jump. And it was right next to his house, and next to that basketball hoop that he was never at. Like, fucking Indy was nice, and it was like kind of like you're at his house in a way. Sometimes you're near it, and he's like never bitchy. But he just be coming and going, or gonna do his thing. He has an important life. Somehow, it was weird. He's really nice. But it's like a kind of a weird thing. There's a whole other life going on. It wasn't like a kid that would run around on a bike. At least not that I know of. Damn, man. So yeah, that's and that's weird that we get put there, okay? So we're on one part of the block, and you go around the block, you go up and just around, and he's near the top of the street. He's got a really cool house too. Really cool place. It's actually better there with the older trees. I guess that's older. Oh yeah, and ours would have been woods. And they have the old Simons with their giant yard. And the sewers are weird because like there's like a manhole sewer entrance in the back of our yard and the way behind, because the story is Mr. Simon wouldn't let him go through his yard. He made him go around the big yard. So it's a big it's not like a yard, it's like a big old farm thing. It's like 6 lots or something like that, in a big mansion house. Like, even though the rest of everything's a suburb. He probably owned the damn whole thing. It's probably like kind of made up. He said like the story is like he comes back from vacation and they're trying to put something through his yard and he's upset. I don't know, because that guy, because that guy, talk about that's the thing, man. Mr. Simon, you have that ice cream machine going, you could hear it, so you're supposed to go get ice cream when you're a kid. They're really cool, Mr. Simon and his wife. And they were already retired, and he's some super thing. He's Mr. like, just can do it all or whatever. And he got all the plants. He's got a greenhouse, all the damn plants, and all around that big old farmyard thing. Greenhouse in the winter, and he knows every single plant. And the wife is really nice, and she was like a maybe retired English teacher. She says that makes sense. And later they weren't nice. Later, like when I was a teenager, I didn't talk to me again. And it kind of hurt my feelings and stuff. I didn't really and they just didn't really talk. But they were always weird before. But they'd be nice and weird. Like you could just walk through their yard when you're a kid, when I was a kid. And then you need to because it's a shortcut. Because it takes up like a major part of the block. And so if you can get through it, like, you get a good shortcut. But that's some kind of thing. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here you go. Like, probably early when we moved in. So we moved to Carbondale to that house. in the summer of 1970, right? Wait, yeah. Summer 1970. Maybe it was a couple years later. Maybe it wasn't like when we first moved in. 72. So these guys, I'm thinking how they bugged the house, or how they would be getting up to the phone lines or something like that, or if they do, or if it ever be accessed like that, or it's just helpful. Because otherwise people could fuck around with the rest of it, or like, and there's a big, pine trees that get in the way of everything. But the guys were up there once. So I'm thinking if like, whenever there's, telephone guys there, and they did show up once. I do have a memory of the telephone guys or the electrical guys. And it seemed like they go way up in the tree, way higher. But it's like, I guess it's just because I'm a kid. But I thought like, it's like, yeah, it just seems really high, right? And they'd be up around those pine trees, because the pine trees were getting in the way, and there's something. And so a baby squirrel had fallen out of the tree, or they made it fall out of the tree. It had fallen, and they're walking around and talking, and maybe even my parents were nearby. And now I think they did it on purpose, or I know they did. So I was talking to my parents, or they were talking to each other. That's what it is, probably talking to each other. And I go up to the guy and I say, "Oh, be careful! There's a baby squirrel." And immediately, as soon as I said that, he's like, not even looking or anything. He's walking, and he put this big, heavy boot goes on it, just squishes it to death. And it's one of my early memories. And so I thought of that, like yesterday or something, a couple days ago, and I realized, oh yeah, that's on purpose. That's whole thing's a setup. He motherfucker threw the fucking thing down there, whole fucking thing, up in the place, fucking around, going to the fucking nest. Cause what is it? Oh, the nest is in the way of the lines, and just the motherfucker out to the fucking nest, in the fucking squirrel, or bring the damn squirrel, throw the motherfucker down with the kid, and then this shit, wait till it squish. So the motherfucker did that. It reminds me of these fake ass fed motherfuckers like that were in that fire truck and shit like that, or he's just like that, and they're same mustachy kind of thing. And it was two guys, and that was some shit, man. I'm telling you, that was the fucking shit. Getting up on the phone lines. That was, man. Those duck skeletons that are there. There's some duck skeletons, and those are from my friend had been out. He visited his I think his name's Aggie Belmont. It's August Belmont. The 4th, August the 4th. But I think they call him Aggie Belmont, or some people do, I heard. And my friend went duck hunting one of the few times he gets to go up there, and he's trying to hang out with a guy. The guy never did get sent to college, nothing. My friend's just on his own. The guy's sitting up there. I don't know what it was, if he had $500 million or he didn't. Like, one time I heard it was $500 million, but maybe not. Maybe he is poor or something. But my friend bought some ducks, and kept them in the freezer at their house. And that was like way later. And that's like I was 22 or something. They were in the freezer, or 21, 22. And someone pulled the plug on it. They'll use the power outlet. One of my brother's other friends, and then forgot to plug the freezer back in, so they rotted. So that's what happened with that. That's why there's some duck skeletons somewhere. Maybe the head's off or something, I don't know. From the farm, like there. Yeah. So that's it, man. So there you go. So I get to sit there and watch the Jew being fucking destroyed. The Rothschild, like what they are, the Rothschilds, and being just like kids, they're just wrecked, just like us. MI6 fucking hates Jews. I think that's what it is, because I get this sense there's something, man. No. So that's sad. Don't even fucking use them. And it goes all to the shit. They had everything wrapped up. Damn, it's weird that we were on that block too. And kind of get put there. It is kind of orchestrated. And if you know them, like, the mom's not in on anything. She's got a little bit of issues, I guess I can say. She well, but God, man. Yeah, so they're fucking around. They're fucking around, and that'll be targeting that money too. Now, my friend inherited 0, so I don't know if anyone else, and they can work it. They work the shit, man, and whatever other connections, and we were just like a waste product, or like this busy off to the side, and they can't make use of it. It's too much difficulty. That's what they fucking did, because like people talk to me like they can't believe how there's like, it seems like I come from a desert island, or I go out my door and there's like 5 miles of desert, then there's something, and you have to go around to get into town to actually, and it's like that. Like there was like a vacancy of like society around me, or at least, and I always thought it was like myself. Only in the last few months am I realizing it was kind of a thing. Damn, man. So that's that. And I know they were getting fucked with too. Because I don't want to just go think, but they got targeted. Oh, the fuck. That's what it is. Damn, man. Swimming more too. I used to swim all the time. I used to be in the water all the damn time. My foot's showing the whole time.